Hello. God, this thing drives me crazy sometimes. Hi, and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita, Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show today. Everything. So a couple of weeks ago, I talked about the vibration of 2025 and the energy that it was bringing in for us to. And one of the main themes of the year 2020, detoxifying who we are. And I would do a series on detoxification. Not just detox, but excuse me, thing. Our bodies are, because I'm going to throw out a lot of material that you're going to want to write down, especially if there's something that you've been thinking about doing. Or doing anything particularly special. You know, one of the first ways that we can detoxify our body, food that we're eating, look at foods that have a lot of chemicals in them. You know, as they like to say, eat from the edge of the supermarket. That's where the meats are, that's where the dairy is, and that's where the vegetables are. And if you really stick to the edge of the grocery store, you know, maybe get some rice and beans, you know, those are on the good list. You are You know, one of the things I like to do as I stand in line at the supermarket is look at people's carts, kinds of meat or fatty foods, or this person has just got like a sugar thing going on because it's just, like sweets and carbohydrates, or, this person, instant foods that are just chemical laden that our body has to figure out what to do with. And many times it just gets stuck in our physical body. But since our body is made up of so many parts, it's not just about doing a liver cleanse, even though that is a key thing that if you're going to do a detox that you would want to do. So I'm going to start there and kind of go through several other detoxes that might sound appropriate for you. So our liver is one of our primary detoxification organs. And, it can get overloaded with stuff. So if you're having like allergy-like symptoms a lot, perhaps you need to detox your liver. If you're feeling tired or sluggish, perhaps you need to detoxify your liver. And so with any herbal supplement, when you go to the health food store, there are so many to pick from. And so I'm just going to suggest some herbs that, excuse me, that might be in the combination. That would be a beneficial suggestion, because it's really challenging to name out brand names, because some health food stores carry certain things, other ones don't carry it. If you don't live in the United States, you might not be able to find that brand at all. Amazon tends to be, you aren't finding anything. So if you want to detox your liver, you would want to look for herbs such as milk thistle or dandelion. I always like to find ones that have beetroot as part of them, and or turmeric. And those can work synergistically to help the liver let go of basically the chemicals and perhaps fat that we have been hanging on to. And again, our liver is one of our primary detoxification organs. And so doing a detox on it just makes sense. One of the other major detoxification organs in our bodies are our kidneys. And our kidneys sit in the middle of our back. And we often don't think about detoxing our kidneys, but actually there's a lot of chemicals and processes that happen through the kidneys. And doing a kidney cleanse is actually very simple. And the whole goal is first thing in the morning, before that first sip of coffee, before you eat or drink anything, to take a glass of lemon water, lemon in it, and drink that down. And having issues with like some kidney stones, or if you are prone to kidney stones or kidney gravel, that would be something that you might want to keep on your agenda to do on a more regular basis. Another very common cleanse is a colon cleanse. Now, with the liver, you can get individual herbs pretty basic and simple. With a colon cleanse, it becomes a bit more complex. Now, if you want to do a hardcore colon cleanse, I would recommend, hardcore, I would recommend a website, Arise and Shine, which sends you a kit with like this clay stuff in it and probiotics and fiber, and it basically is either a 2-week or a 1-month cleanse, but that bad boy cleans you out. But again, there are other commercially available colon cleanses that you can do. But if you do one, you always want to follow that up with some kind of a probiotic to nourish the colon and make sure that the good bacteria is in there. Right up there with colon cleansing, and this might sound a little bit gross, is doing enemas, because that will literally flush the colon out. Or you can actually go to see someone and have a colonic done, where they basically backflow water and or some kind of liquid into the colon and wash the colon out. And Some people find it very revitalizing. Some people find it very helpful, especially now is tied to, and if you have a history, you are a dessert head, and you're craving sugar, whether it is a piece of bread or a candy bar, you might have a candida issue. So again, there are a lot of commercially available colon cleanse or candida cleanse is sugar. And so if you do the cleanse and you go back to your old lifestyle of eating a lot of sugar, eating a lot of carbohydrates, then the cleanse wouldn't have done that great of a job. And one of the things that I've seen with a lot of people, and I'm going to say Americans in particular, is they have something that's called systemic candida that has extended outside of their colon. And so even if they do a colon cleanse, that doesn't mean that they've gotten candida out of the rest of their body. And so really paying attention to sugar intake and sugar consumption needs to be something that's on their radar all of the time. Another very common cleanse, and this one is interesting, is a gallbladder cleanse. And when you do a gallbladder cleanse, there are a lot of moving parts to it. And I'm just going to describe it. And if it's something that you are more interested on it. But basically a gallbladder, the malic acid from the apple juice to break down and soften the gallstones that might be in your gallbladder. Do that for 3. When you're done with that part, drinking. So I like got a shot glass, and so drinking a full, and then like rinsing your mouth out with a little lemon juice, and perhaps drinking a little pineapple juice to set your right hand side, left hand side. Oil, but any gallstones that happen to be in the gallbladder, and you find that you just kind of steer clear of fatty foods, then maybe doing a gallbladder cleanse would be a worthwhile thing. It's a little bit complex. You really have to want it, but it works really good. And then I have 2 more cleanses. So 2 other cleanses that you might consider is a parasite cleanse. There are some people that think that everyone has parasites. And I would recommend herbs, so walnut, some like wormwood or don't like, as the case may be. I've been told, ivermectin is an antiparasitic, but I don't know if it does a broad spectrum of parasites or just a certain kind of parasites. But when you look at parasite cleanses, like at the health food store, they will tell you what kind of more spectrum parasite cleanse. And the last cleanse that I want to talk about is a heavy metal detox, because we can take on, like if you had a lot of mercury fillings, you might have mercury toxicity, or they actually sit in the fat tissues as opposed to the liver or other organs. And so you have to do something a little bit different. Now, thankfully, this one's pretty easy. By consuming cilantro, or parsley or a combination of the two, and you can get them in capsules. You can actually detox the heavy metals out of your body. You know, one of the things that I recommend to people is to go low and slow. Like when you do the gallbladder cleanse, you have to do that all at once. So you can't really do the low and slow. Because if your body is really toxic, you might have what's called a healing reaction. And I see this a lot with the liver cleanse and or the candida cleanse, where someone just goes at it and their body is reacting because it's not getting what it used to get before. So you might find yourself being a little bit cranky for a couple of days. With the liver cleanse more, you might feel good. That's why they call it a healing reaction. Like you might feel tired or experience some other physical symptom, but that is just part of the healing. It is your liver is letting go of all of this stuff released out of the body. Okay, so I know I or listening. And if you guys have any questions more specifically about doing some kind of a detox, go ahead and ask that in the chat. Those questions specifically. Not so as always here, I'd like a reading and give me times I will shuffle the cards and read out loud or guidance or insights, reach out to me, soulhealer.com, and we can set up a time for a private consultation. And if you're listening to this show on and you want to join the live audience, the easiest place to go is my YouTube channel, which is Just Energy Radio on YouTube, and join the fun. Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central every week. Okay. Whew. That was kind of a long one, but I think it was a good one. So I hope you got something out of it and enjoyed it. There's lots of commentary today. Okay, so Master Player, hello, and ERRT Radio, we're here like really super early today. But let's see, but where are you? Okay, so he was early, but I gave him special dispensation because he was early and he was being nice to me and wanted to read number 3. So ERRT Radio, here you go. Number 3. And for all my YouTube people, I know there's a lot of you from YouTube. stuck between these two. I'm kind of liking this one better. Okay, so let's see what's going on. So ERRT radio, I'm feeling like something from, and this might sound really weird, and I hope it resonates with you, but something from your situation that pushed on a old that's part of you, but it came part of you from a long got activated. I'm feeling like you're feeling maybe perhaps a little confused about the whole thing. You know, I guess maybe what I'm supposed to be telling you that you had to feel or address in a really long time. And so it's come to the surface for you to acknowledge it and pay attention to it. And no one away from it. And so I hope that makes sense. And that you're supposed to be you know if that makes it different. Okay, let's see. Hey, Karen. Um, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Okay, Anna. Thanks for coming to the show today. And she would like number think I missed uppercase commentary, and I got in. Okay. All right, and that's your card for today. sound a bit cryptic, but I'm almost having to be like fake in interacting. You want anything that you're dealing with really has anything to do with you. Why you're being involved in you'll be happier. You'll really be happier. Let me and Kara would like a reading number 3. All right, Karen. So you are sensing this, but I feel like a releasing process. You know, we've gotten a chance to exhale. And all of the stuff, the emotional stuff that you've been kind of holding back on that held breath is finally getting the opportunity to come out. That feels really good and really uncomfortable because there's a lot of emotional energy that often gets tied up. You're unsure, then you know perhaps to facilitate much better. Okay. And again, you know, if you on, oops, two. Well, okay, Yvonne, you got the same card. Let's see what's going on with feeling like there's something kind of weighted on your sleeve. Uh, but I'm just sensing this kind of heaviness around you. Um, um, just on and you change. Um, because I feel like you in there doing all these tools and having it be uncomfortable. And sometimes we just have to take a step back and go to Starbucks and get a coffee and just let it ride. And but sometimes, again, when we try to put effort or every okay, because once you have that be okay, it will allow, just shuts it down. Drusilla, nice seeing you. I think I was talking about you on air the other day, Dawn. I mean, I didn't mention your name, but just how much you've changed, just by for you. Dawn, I want to talk to you, and I'm going to say, notice that things have changed, but there's this little piece of you sitting back there. I'll go back and worry or concern, and it's just messing up your energy space, where you can sit there and go that way, but I'm not that way anymore, and just turn on the positive. Grateful for the changes that you've made within yourself, and just let that go, because once you break that to happen for you to go back into it. So you, hi, me number 3, please, thank you. You sure just a subtle hint, everyone. No. All right. And that's okay. So, and so I'm going to talk kind of more than normal. But I feel like there is a project that you are being given the opportunity to work on. Now, whether it's a project or if it's working on yourself, I feel like there's part of you that's go and do. And then there's this other part that's just doing anything, do this deep dive, and maybe you're, but you want to be there. I mean, I feel like there's this calling to you to and you're being but I don't really see that there's something to be hesitant about because I feel like the secret treasure is down in the bottom of that hole. You'll have to you'll have to send them curious. And it's just what has been well for you. Dave says, I love fatty barbecue. And then ERRT Radio says she would not like my cart today. No, I didn't. But then, and when I just one, it's all about my and so it's okay if you that's all they do, and they don't eat anything healthy, you know, and putting something green. So my son had a girlfriend who didn't eat vegetables, apparently. And then we went to the Asian because they had these killer Asian chicken wings that weren't fried, or they didn't see, you know, I can't even think of the wing place, Wingstop, like, hey, like that. They were very moist and tender. Fried rice, and that would be eat with us. And a few weeks later, we were out. Yeah, and I went to that. Okay, we had and fried rice. It was green, and I'm like, beans and fried rice. She had peas because there were peas in the fried rice. Not that many peas, but peas in the fried rice. And that was like, uh, that's my story. Oh, oh my God. So my throat's a little scratchy, so I'm sorry about the coughing. Um, and then Jessica says, I agree. I've learned to cut back on I eat. And Jessica, I eat any dairy because apparently I'm allergic to it. And fruit, man, cookie. I don't go to the health food store and buy, a combination that covers a big spectrum of parasites because you never know what you have. Parasite, and a different one will work for a different kind of parasites. And then there's all the talk about ivermectin, is acidic. But I probably should find out this information. I know it's an antiparasitic or a narrow spectrum, like if it only handles roundworms and certain, and then there's flea spray, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. Gallbladder cleanse, lay on the left side. Yeah, for that right. Whole thing, and he would like a number two. All right, master player, that's your card for today. So interesting. I get the impression that you've kind of taken on the new year with a new kind of zest and a new energy for this year. Um, I feel like you're playing around with a lot of different ideas, and I feel like you're just opening yourself up to the highest vibration of whatever it is. Um, to that on some level, and I hope this makes sense on, it's like, oh, I have this idea, and then forcing them through, and they would like to be birthed. They would like to be anything worse than, and if it's born on June, work on it and shouldn't be actively pursuing. Your deal for this year is to be able to separate. This is my ego saying, I need to do this now. Yeah, I've been working on that one a lot too. The mirror when I was getting ready, and I'm like, hey, it looks pretty freaking good. So messed up as a lot of dope nitrate and fabric work. Well, to get a heavy metal detox test done, and to and you take a hair sample and how many hairs, like a little clipping of hair for what the makeup is. So if there is silver nitrate in your body, it will show up in your hair. And so it's very non-invasive. I mean, you have to pay out of pocket. If you think you had to do it for a month or two, but it can really do the trick. All right. And then ERRT radio says, hey, I'm Dr. Number One, please. Okay, number one, Ricky. All right, and that's your. So Ricky, hard for you, and I'm going to say to ground. I don't know. Experiencing it is that you might feel a little bit unfocused, feel spacey. You know, the way I'm seeing grounded right now, for you to, um, you know, and perhaps you can really evaluate that and update it to and move forward. I haven't heard anything back from any of you guys. If my readings are making any sense today. All right, there's your card for today. Well, Drusilla, I get the on around you that happened in the past, you know, like, or just went along with it, but I'm feeling like not really anymore. I feel uncomfortable frame. I like that word, you know, and this dynamic that has been very limiting for you. Question is, you know, just be mindful about how you allow it to come out. Sometimes when we make a shift like that, it kind of comes out really big and loud, which may or may not be good. But it, you know, you're speaking your truth, because really that's kind of going. Okay, so Neef, because I got nothing else. You don't know a number one shuffle. Okay. And that's your card. You know, so Monif, I just get the impression that, you know, I'm going to say you've always been kind of scared to own space. Um, I get the impression that you're pretty dissatisfied with that, and are looking. I feel like there's a lot of your life. I feel like you are starting to see that. Uh, that be track for 2025. You should have been here last week because that's every, all right, Gary's in the house. Hey, Gary. Number two. Okay. Number two. Very. So Gary, it's like I'm not really getting a good read off of you today. I mean, your energy is seeming kind of low and very, so I don't know if there are things going on with yourself, which is not a judgment. We are processing some heavy stuff. We pull it in. Something that's gone on, pull it in, and so energy's all pulled in. So, okay, Ashika. Hi, Ashika. Reading relates to neighbor issues, I think. Okay. And then Karen just giving you a reading. So Flo, thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you. Where I'm at. Okay, we're Gary. I'm contemplating. Really felt this. Hey, Miss Debbie, in your car driver. Please play for the. And the master. Don says, "I'll try it." Hey, Julie, how are you? Okay.